Good morning, folks. This is Mike Haley 7, riding my 2014 Ultra Classic Electroglide, not the Limited. I do not have liquid cooling. And I have a story of woe, one more for you today. This one is the worst one of all. After the great heartbreak of 1991 in England, specifically in Arundel, West Sussex, I returned home with no money. I had planned to be away for 2 years. I ended up being away for just a semester. I ended up going to the American campus of the college I was at in England. And I did not want to go to that campus, but I ended up there because I had to. And I was very upset because the Italian ended up there too. She was trying to get away from me, so she went to the American campus, and then she didn't know I was going to end up there. So I think she probably figured I was following her at the time, but I wasn't. I was trying to get away from her too. It was a very, very difficult spring semester of '92. In the fall of '92, I became an RA in my dormitory. That means a resident assistant. I was basically the boss of the dorm that helped me pay my tuition. And I met a girl, and she was dark and cynical and brooding like I was. And we got along really well because we basically wanted everybody else to go away, basically. We had a very tumultuous relationship. Together, apart, together, apart. That lasted several years, more together than apart. And then I went off to Fiji with my dark self. I was in the Peace Corps for 2 years as an English teacher trainer. And the darkness went away, because how can you be dark in Fiji? It's just not possible. It's too sunny, and the people are too nice. So I got back from Fiji as a very light-hearted person, which is generally my natural state anyway, is to be more light-hearted than dark. All right. And when I got back, the ex-girlfriend, the dark one, and I got back together again, and it was a hard time in the beginning because she was getting over a bad relationship, but we worked it out. Most people thought she was too dark for me, but they kept their mouths shut. We ended up moving to Hawaii, buying a house, getting married. We had lived together from 97 to 2000, got married in 2001, right before 9/11, or sorry, right after 9/11. We didn't plan it that way. And for the first few years, from 97 to 2000, it was hard, but it wasn't terrible. And it got better, and then between 2000 and 2003, things were okay. I mean, they were hard, but, it wasn't terrible. And then things started to go real bad. Fighting and and resentment. It was a really bad time from 2003 to 2005. And by 2005, we were on the verge of divorcing. We decided that we were going to sell the house and move back to the mainland. That's another topic for another video. Hawaii was not the place for us at all. It wasn't. It was no Fiji. Let's put it that way. And after we moved back to the mainland, we didn't move back to Boston. That was the agreement. We would not ever move back to Boston. Too cold, too snowy, too expensive. And I thought too mean, too competitive. So we moved here, North Carolina. And things got worse. Cheating happened. A way to deal with cheating happened. That blew up in our faces. It took several years for that to blow up completely. It was like a train wreck that lasted 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. More cheating, or not really cheating, but just horribleness, absolute acidic horribleness, evil, poison. When a relationship goes really bad and it should be over, it can turn almost deadly poisonous. And this one certainly turned that way. Heartbreak for 6 years. I ended up in therapy over it for a year, getting divorced, buying out my ex, and she left and moved elsewhere with the dogs. The dogs had broken my heart as well. Malteses don't live very long. They're just very delicate creatures. It almost killed me. That last one really did a number on me. So those are 3 of the great heartbreaks of my life. And you know, the really strange thing about it is, I'm now friends with all 3 of them. I've got no problem with any of them. Isn't it weird how things can work out, you know? For a while you're in love, and then you're not, and it goes really horrible, and then you find your way back to each other, but not the same way, just friends. I think that's an important thing for me. There are only basically 2 of my ex-girlfriends that I do not talk to, 3 that I do not talk to at all anymore. Life's too short to hold that kind of pain inside you. I mean, there's scars, of course, but they make you a stronger person, hopefully. A wiser person, definitely, if you learn the lesson. Well, there you go. Those are my 3 big heartbreaks. This is Mike Kaylee 7. Talk to you later.